Australia, one of the most beautiful nations of the world, with more than 22 million inhabitants and a very high AGI. Located in Southwest Oceania, it's 13 hours ahead of Brazil. Almost all territory of Australia is semi-arid. In addition, it's a highly developed country with GDP of about 1 trillion Australian dollars. Much of its wealth comes from agricultural products, livestock, mining and industry.
Outback is the name that Australian desert is known. The Outback covers most of Australia's countryside, about 2/3 of the territory, and offers one of the most beautiful and unspoiled landscapes in the world. Cities located in the Australian Outback include Alice Springs, Coober Pedy, Broken Hill and Kalgoorlie, and many others of smaller size. There, many residents live in underground houses where temperature extremes are avoided. The soil is so barren that even with the use of powerful fertilizer, agriculture is impossible in most of the area. Despite of this fact, the region brings a big wealth to Australia because of the huge reserves of minerals found there. Near the town of Alice Springs, located in the famous rock formation known as a rock, or Uluru, which is 346 meters tall and attracts tourists from around the world.
The official discovery of Australia is 21st of August of 77 by Captain James Cook, who claimed the vast continent to the UK, naming it New South Wales. The first British settlers arrived in 1787, near where Sydney is located today. The first ships brought convicts. For many years, Australia was a penal colony of the United Kingdom. From 1850, the country became a destination for adventurers, especially Chinese, as in many regions were discovered gold mines. Australia became part of the British Commonwealth in 91, where it started to have a federal and parliamentary structure. Independence comes only in 1942, although the King or Queen of England remains as the formal head of state. Only in 1986 these ties were cut out.
The Australian standard and cost of living is high due to the official minimum wage is more than $14 per hour. However, many Australians don't know how to use properly the money, consuming more than is needed. Australia is a very safe country. The police are very competent, educated and equipped.
Capital of Australia, Canberra is located on the southeast, about 150 kilometers from the east coast. The city was planned entirely by American architect Walter Burley Griffin to be the capital of the country. It is the largest Australian city located in the countryside and has approximately 330,000 inhabitants. It is also a popular destination for tourists. Melbourne is the second largest city in Australia and it is located on the southern coast. It is a large industrial center with a leading economic center of the country. There are about 3.7 million inhabitants in its metropolitan area. It has a very diverse culture, a very pleasant climate with an extremely modern architecture and tourist attractions that are visited by people around the world. Sydney is the most populous city of Australia with approximately 28.4 million inhabitants. It's one of the world's best cities to visit. It is a metropolitan area surrounded by national parks and contains many bays, rivers and inlets. Sydney is one of the most multicultural cities in the world, making it a great destination for immigration. Sydney has the most expensive cost of living in Australia and the 15th most expensive on the planet.
Australia's fauna brings together a wide variety of unique animals. The Australian government has a very effective system of protection for its fauna, with very heavy fines for any person who attempts to interfere with the animals.
The Australian flora contains about 22,000 plant species. It is quite curious and unique. The government of Australia has a complete website on the whole fauna available to everyone, the Department of Environment and Heritage. For the best protection of wildlife, the Conservation Department keeps the national park open to the public. The biggest diversity is located at Queensland State.
Australia is one of the countries with an obese population due to their food habits. There are two things that can't miss on Australian tables: potatoes and any kind of sauce. Usually it's used tomato sauce or barbecue sauce. There isn't a single Australian that resists a barbecue, known as Barbie. Typical food: fish and chips, veg meats, meat pies, stick date pudding, and bee sting. A curiosity about them is that they have the habit of eating sweet and bread, French fries and bread, and they also can't live without spicy food.
Australians are competitive born. They are considered one of the world's most competitive people in any area, including at work. They are very famous by playing rugby, cricket, golf, and obviously, the sport that made Australia known for everybody, surf.
Seed.